Hi and welcome back. For this session we're going to discuss the functionality of the table of contents. More specifically, we're going to discuss layering and opacity features. So to get started, let's go ahead and add some indicators to our map. So I'm going to go ahead and open the indicators window, and I'm just going to select percent minority students, and these are just example points. And I'm also going to select, for example, above regional share of youth. And then just to add one more, I'm going to go into my reference layers here, and I'm going to turn on the thematic map, and I want to add some boundary data. So I'm going to find the boundaries and make sure to turn on the mother data point first, and then I'm going to turn on the city boundaries rather than county. I'm going to find city boundary, which is this one. So now we should have in the background a colorful city boundary layer that you can kind of see. So from here, if you as a user are not happy with this grayed portion, which happens to be the data from the above regional share of youth, and you might think it's too dark, and you want to see the color of the city below it, what you can do is change the level of opacity. So to do so, you'd find the data point that you want, right click, and it will give you a bunch of options. The one that you want to find is the fifth one down, and it's a scale bar. And as you can see, as I lower the opacity, the gray starts to fade from the map. I don't want to remove the gray completely, I just want it enough so that I can see below it and still see through it, and still see the gray itself. So I'm going to just drop it to this point. As you can tell now, I can see through the gray and see what color is underneath, but I can also still see the gray. Say, for another example, you're not happy with the color of the blue of this point, and you want it to be a tad bit lighter. So to do it, you use the same thing, and you just find the point, right-click, go down to opacity, and again, if I lower the scale bar completely, you'll see the points start to fade away, and I don't want to do that. I just want it enough so I can see through. So we'll say there. Now we can see through both the gray and the blue to see what color is lying underneath. So that's basically the opacity portion of the table of contents. Now for the layering, and what the layering means is that currently we have 4 different data pieces within our map. So first we have the percent minority students, next we have the above regional share of youth, next we have the regional base map, which is what you can see way in the back here, and that's kind of like the Google map. And then we have the thematic map, which is our city boundaries that we've selected earlier. So how it's all sitting is that on top of everything, you first see the points, and then below that you see the boundaries, and then below that you see the city, below that I mean you see the regional share of youth, then below the regional share of youth you see the city boundaries, and then below that you see the base map. So that's how it's layered. However, say for example, you want to bring the city boundaries on top. You want those on top of everything. In order to do so, you would go and right-click that data point. So it's right here in our thematic map. When you right-click it, it gives you a bunch of options. As you can see, it says bring to front, bring forward, send to back, and send backwards. And this has to do with the layering. Well, what we want to do is bring it all the way to the front. So let's do that. Click bring to front. Once you do that, you can see now, sitting on top of everything, is our thematic map data, our city boundaries. However, say if you want to now see the percent minority students above this. Well, we want to go to percent minority students, right click, say bring to front, and now what we have is sitting on top is the points of the percent minority students, below that are the cities, and then below that we have the regional share of youth, and then way at the bottom is the original base map. So this is how you can change the layering of all these data points just by right-clicking and moving those data points around to your preference. Well, that is it for this session, and yes, thank you very much.